class, this is Eric, and this is my Java tutorial on how to create a class. I created a test class that will run the program calculate prime, and in here we have a method that will calculate whether or not a number is prime based on a maxed value that prime can be. So if it is set at 5,000, it would be 499 would be the closest prime. And then we add that to a array list of integers, and that we can then access through our test prime, or if you were going to draw pictures based on only prime numbers, you could do it that way. In my test method, class, I create a reference of calculate prime, and I set the test max at 5,000, and then we have whether or not how many tests it is, how many passed, how many failed, and then I created a constructor to run the prime. That way I didn't have to make all these static. So it's just a workaround of being able to do that. During run prime, I go ahead and create a new instance of calculate prime, and then I start the run prime method, passing through the test max, and then I run this particular method, which is the actual check prime list, and we get our primes and make it into a temp list. If something happens and this is null, we want to go ahead and fail, and then fail if this is empty, set at 0. And then we go ahead and calculate through whether or not it is a prime, and let's go ahead and run it. And because I went ahead and error checked, all these are prime values, and it's fairly easy. You can change this to 500 and it will run through 500 iterations of it, instead of the 5,000. Other than that, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward program. We have to iterate through the prime list, and we get our current prime. We want to make sure it's not a 0 or a 1, because it's not a prime. If it's a 2 or it's a modulo 2 equals 1, it will pass, which when we're calculating our prime, it's kind of already doing that. So it's kind of a redundant test. But I couldn't think of anything other way of testing whether or not this is an actual operational, other than checking to whether or not it is null, whether or not the size is greater than 0, and then making sure that each one of these prime values is actually a prime. All right, thank you, and